Welcome to round 3 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of May 15th. I'm Catherine Haleko, and I'm here with Terry Morrow.
Hello.
And Nicole Eridix is not with us today, so we are going to do something that we maybe would have a harder time doing with 3 people. We are, as you know, moms of teens and young adults, and when it comes to parenting, we've been there, done that, bought the t-shirt, but we're still waiting for that day when we'll reach the finish line and have no further need to lay down in a dark room with a wet rag over our eyes worrying about something or other. Wednesday is complaint day here on Parenting Roundabout, and today we're complaining about parenting quizzes, maybe. What we thought we would do is we have found a quiz at BuzzFeed, shocking.
Of course.
And it is titled, How Strict Are Your Parenting Opinions Compared to Everyone Else's? So we thought this would be ripe for our commentary.
Yes. So we will comment on the quiz, and then we will take it at the same time and see what BuzzFeed thinks of us.
Yes.
Nothing good, I'm sure.
Right. So the first question is, what's the best age for a kid to get a phone?
Oh.
And the options are, as soon as they can talk, phones are the future. 13, they're a teen, so it just feels right. When they have to go to school on their own, which, okay, is that like 3, 5, or
well, maybe it's like when they're old enough to drive and they drive to school by themselves.
Or walk. But anyway, and then the fourth option is when they can pay for it themselves, which is basically never. So
yeah.
So I definitely
was lucky not to have to make this decision because my cell phones weren't a thing until my kids were older, and I think they got them in college mostly just so I could. I think I got my son one just so I could set alarms on it to tell him when he needed to go to classes. Mm-hmm. But it would have been nice in high school. There was one evening when my daughter needed to be picked up somewhere large, and my husband couldn't find her, and she wound up walking to her aunt and uncle's house and calling us from there. Mm-hmm. It would have been super if she had a cell phone and my husband had a cell phone that he would actually use, which is a whole nother topic. Right. They could have found each other super quick.
Right.
So, but that wasn't a thing then, or we hadn't given her one then, and it wasn't as omnipresent as it is now. Your kids are a little younger. When did they get their first cell phones? They got them at like 13. Okay. And it's funny because before that, my son, was really angling for a phone at a year or two before that. Uh-huh. And I finally agreed to get him just a flip phone because I'm like, well, if you need it, if your argument is that you need it to, be able to reach me or whatever, then a flip phone will work for that purpose. And so I got him the flip phone, and he never used it. He just held out until he turned 13 and got a smartphone instead of a dumb the
phone.
Smartphone is a game changer. My son was not very interested in the flip phone that I got him first, but then once he got the iPhone, I saw a difference in his communication. He just was completely enwrapped by it. Yeah. And not interested in paying attention to anything else. It was so scary. But at the same time, it was useful. And, the child location features of it is very, very useful and comforting. Yes. And the ability to send them a text, even when they're in their room and you're in the living room, instead of yelling, is very nice.
Right.
So I think probably if I was momming right now, I might say 13.
All right, so let's answer. Should we reveal what we're saying or just do it?
Okay. Yeah, well, I'm saying 13.
I am too.
And we are 47% of BuzzFeed readers agreed with us. So that's
right.
Is that comforting or not? I don't know if I want to be like BuzzFeed readers. Dang! Yeah, when they can pay for it themselves, that still would not be a case in my house.
Yeah.
And as soon as they can talk, no.
Right. No.
All right, now here
we go. Is it okay for a parent to check their kid's phone? The options are, of course, how else will you know what they're up to? No, it's an invasion of privacy. Only if I suspect they're doing something shady. Or I'm all about the phone tracking, baby. So this is not having them on Life
GPS.
360 or whatever so that you can track their movements. This is actually looking at what is going on their phone.
Right.
Which there are many apps that you can use for this purpose.
I think if you're giving it to the kid at 13, that's part of the rule. That I need to see what you're doing.
Right.
You need to give me access anytime I ask for it. Or let me put this nosy app on or something like that. Once they get older, I still would love to look at my son's phone because he's in his room with it a lot for a long time, and I worry.
Right.
But he will not, under any circumstances, let me even lay a hand on it. So I would have to really put a lot of chips on the table to get a look at it, and even then he might call my bluff. So, of course, it's an invasion of privacy. The question is, how responsible are you for that person? And
what is the expectation of privacy between a parent and a child? And
I would say that at 13, they got to let you see. At 18, maybe they can say none of your business. But even then, I mean, my kids I still feel responsible for.
Right.
And if they're doing something, you need to know about it. It's like, I feel like society says, how dare you, parent, try to look on your phone? And, oh, by the way, look what happened. Why didn't you do something?
Right. Why didn't you look?
So, you can't win. I would say only if I suspect they're doing something shady, except how do you know? I really wish there was an easy way to. I tend to be, I'm all about the phone tracking, baby, but I have not been able to do that. So.
Yeah, my answer would be only if I suspect. That's a nice middle ground.
Right. And, we're just naturally suspicious. So.
Yes.
All right.
And we are indeed with the great majority here.
Yes, of course.
It is interesting that the second most common answer is no, it's an invasion of privacy. I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah, I would think that for BuzzFeed readers though, because maybe at least 18% of BuzzFeed readers are young people with phones saying, "Stay off my phone, Mom."
Right. Their children are 1 year old, so they don't get it. Okay, the next question is, what do you think about kids calling their parents by their first name? And the choices are, this is so rude, never. It's their name, so why not? Or only at home, but never in public. I don't like any of these choices. Yes.
Yeah, because no, it's disrespectful, but if it happens every now and then, it's just as a joke. As a joke, yes.
Right.
Otherwise, I answer to mom, mama, mommy. Hey, you short lady. I answer to those things. You don't need to use my first name.
Yeah, I think it's not only respect, but it's just, it's a special relationship. Yes. And it's a special, there's only a few people.
Yes.
That your child only has a few people that they can call by a special name, like mom or dad or grandma or whatever. And likewise, the adult only has a few relationships that have that kind of special name. So I don't think it's necessarily rude, and I wouldn't say never, it's just almost like it's a privilege that that person is not using or whatever. So
yeah, I feel strongly that kids should not call their parents by their first names. I mean, if other families want to do it, fine, but I don't like it.
Right. I guess I'll pick only at home or something. Well, that's worse. I'll pick it's their name.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's rude, even though I don't really think it's rude. Although 64% of BuzzFeed readers agree with me.
Oh.
Where do you stand on answering back? A little bit of lip from the kiddos. Do we tolerate? Oh, look at that. They're expressing themselves. They had so much speech therapy, and now they're using their words. Oh, I'm so thrilled. I admit sometimes I feel like that, honestly. But only when they're giving lip to my husband. If it's to me, forget it.
No, thank you.
You don't talk to me like that, but him, yay! I should call Missy Lane from preschool and tell her how well you're expressing yourself. often have more than once said to my husband, actually very recently, do you know how many years of speech therapy they had to get them to be able to talk like that?
Right. Please try to appreciate it.
Yeah.
He does not, I'm sure.
So the answers are always, I want the kids to speak their mind. That's what you say about other people's kids. To me, never. Darn straight. Mm-hmm. Children should be seen and never heard. Good luck with that. And it's okay sometimes, but only sometimes. So I would pick that last thing, both because, if it's answering back to my husband,
right,
kind of fun. If it's to me, no. But also because sometimes you're having a joking around conversation and the kids talk back and you're just all having fun together. And sometimes it's serious.
Right.
So if it's serious, it's not okay. If we're all kind of being teasy with each other.
But then is that answering back?
Express yourself, child. Maybe not. Sometimes we have discussions sometimes where we're all joking around and the kids will say rude things that I think could be considered talking back. And I don't know. I would say sometimes,
okay,
but depending on the degree of seriousness.
Right.
If it's something serious that I need them to do or that I need them to understand and they're giving me that, then it's a problem. Right. If we're just having fun together, again, I say as a mom whose kids spent many, many, many years in speech therapy, thank you, all the therapists who've gotten her to the point where she can give us a lip. Excellent. Money well spent to be disrespected in such a way. Go you.
Well, I'm going with never. Just because I think that I wouldn't define it as answering back in the circumstances that you're explaining. Yeah. And
yeah, I can see that.
But I also don't love to me, like it should just be never, like I don't want them to do it to anyone else.
Anybody.
For right. Sure. Like not to a teacher, not to a grandparent, a babysitter, whatever. So,
yes.
So I'm going with never, even though that's
okay.
But right, I'm in the minority. Most people are with you. It's okay sometimes.
Yes. Okay. So most people are namby-pamby about it.
Yes.
Excellent. So sometimes it's so cute. Mm-hmm. Oh, what about TV shows with swearing in them?
These kind of shows are not for kids, and that's not up for debate, is the number one choice.
Define kids.
Well, and also that's just sanctimonious. Like, come on.
Yeah, well, but for little kids, I don't want to hear that stuff because they'll repeat it, and then people will make judgments about me. My kids absolutely would repeat it.
Mm-hmm. And then we're back to 100%. Like, hey, they're using their words.
I know, exactly. Yes, this is my quandary. Speech therapists say, Mrs. Morrow, guess what your son said today in speech? Where did he hear that? I don't know, the streaming TV was on. I didn't notice. I don't bust into his phone to find out what he's watching. So. Okay, so then they can watch some stuff under my supervision.
Which, doesn't really change their exposure to it, to be honest. Yes. You can talk to them about it, but like you said before, good luck with that.
Sponge is still going to be soaking it up.
Right. And then similarly, only if they get my special permission, that's the same answer. And then if they promise to never repeat any of the words, again, good luck with that.
Dear. Yeah. Well, I would say if we're talking about little kids, maybe preteens, mm-hmm. I don't think they need to be watching shows that have that kind of language. Although, good luck finding shows that don't. Mm-hmm. It seems to be more and more, even on broadcast TV, language that I don't like. My husband is very huffy about it. But, it's really hard to find.
Right.
Used to be Disney Channel stuff was pretty clean. I don't know if it still is. But that's the kind of stuff.
Well, and some people have a problem with, like, attitudes, not language, like behavior on some Disney Channel shows.
Are they
calling
probably parents by their first names? Yeah, I don't care about that so much.
Right.
Because you got to have something. But I don't think that they need, the kind of shows that have a lot of cursing, I don't know that kids need to be interested in anyway. But when they get older, I have to say, I sort of enjoy using curse words with my kids now, my young adult kids or adult kids, just because it makes them laugh to hear the old lady saying those things.
Right.
And if I want to put a point across, but do it in a non-hostile way, if I throw in an F-bomb,
way.
Yes.
Right.
It diffuses the situation while still getting the message through. So I am worse than the TV shows. But I don't think they have a lot of interest in that kind of shows anyway. Tried to get my daughter to watch Shrinking. She was not interested. You can learn all sorts of new
And
words.
boy, that show had some F-bombs.
It did
pretty much every couple of minutes.
Yes. And as much as I enjoyed it, I'm still kind of why about it.
Yeah.
But okay, it was fun. I kind of enjoy that stuff. My husband is very, 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 very anti that kind of language, which is why I'm the mom giving them cookies. So what do you feel about these things?
So I don't know. I guess my answer is, yeah, I mean, again, it's certainly an age thing, you know, like it was kind of funny because my son the other day, I got a notice from one of his teachers that they were going to be watching an R-rated movie. And like, I had to, you know, be warned about this. And I'm like, okay, well, first of all, he's 18 and, he's pretty much seen everything. So I do not care if he watches Rain Man in psychology class. So, yeah, I mean, it's an age.
These kind of shows are not for kids,
right? It's an age thing, and I've never been super like, I don't know, I don't want to say prudish, but I've never been super like strict is the term they're using in this article about what my kids watch. So, I guess I'll just say they can watch some under my supervision. So, what are you going to pick?
I don't know. I think those kinds of shows are not for kids, and not only because of the language. Yeah. Just because adult themes, as they say, in the TV rating world.
Right.
Adults may not even be ready for adult themes now. So, what's the best way for a child to spend their summer hauls? I'm assuming that means holidays.
Yeah, this must be the British BuzzFeed.
I guess.
Okay.
Right.
With a summer job, it's the only way to learn discipline. Inside the house in front of the TV. At summer camp, things have always got to be productive. Or out and about with their friends, summer is all about making memories.
Could it not be all of the above?
Yeah, that's what I think.
Summer is a long time. You could have a little summer job. You could go to camp. You could go do stuff with your friends. You could watch TV. There's all the time in the world. I noticed summer homework is not on here.
Yeah, no, I don't appreciate summer homework. I have enough trouble with homework during the school year. I don't want to have to deal with it in the summer either.
Yeah. And I mean, it's also an age thing because I'm not going to give my kindergartner a summer job.
They should pull their weight,
you know. My elementary school age kid can go to summer camp. My teenager, if they want to be in front of the TV with their friends, they probably also should work a little bit. I don't know. All of these things can be about making memories, honestly.
Yeah.
Remember that summer we sat in front of the TV and did nothing else? I loved that summer.
Well, also the accompanying GIF is from High School Musical, and they're all at work, so.
That's right. Oh, well, so I don't know. What do we say to that? I say all of the above and depending on age.
Yeah, me too. So how do you pick? I can't
answer this one.
I'm going to pick out and about with their friends.
Yeah. This assumes they have friends, which is not something that I could assume with my children, like, ever. So, summer camp is not necessarily bad. I'm just going to boot this one.
Well, it turns out that most people agreed with me. Yes.
All right. Should strict bedtimes be enforced?
Well, and also, okay, these questions are, again, weird. Yes, once the lights go out, they need to catch those Z's. What does that mean? Like,
Mom and Dad are watching TV
that has swear words. I guess it means, like, if you set a bedtime, do you enforce it? And then the next one is normally yes, but if there's something fun happening, it goes out the window. They have to go to their room at bedtime, but I don't care what they do in there. Nah, the kids will sleep when they're tired enough. Okay, that's a bad move. That is not going to go well for you the next day. So
No.
I would say I was probably, when my kids were younger, young enough to have a bedtime, more like normally yes, but if there's something fun happening, it goes out the window.
Yeah, maybe. I would say, I remember when my son was really, really little, it was totally, we put him down in his crib, but whether he slept or not, I have no idea. He would just amuse himself in some way. And the pediatrician would say, how much sleep did he get a night? And we're like, well, I don't know. Like, I put him down this time.
When he goes
this time.
Right.
In between, he might be partying with the other babies. I don't know. But yeah, I guess normally yes. But if there's something fun happening, it's closest to our kids. My daughter has always just put herself to bed. She has a very strict biological clock, and when it's her bedtime, she goes to bed. Mm-hmm. And my son, again, he'll go to bed and not sleep. So. Right. Yeah, it looks like we're in the majority there.
I mean, I agree that they need to catch those Z's, but I think there has to be some room for... Yeah. There has to be some flexibility.
You know, they can participate in the setting of the bedtime. Mm-hmm. Doesn't have to be the parents who just say, you are going to be sleepy at this time.
Right.
And I don't care. Curfews. I don't know if I ever had a curfew when I was a kid.
An 11 p.m. curfew must be enforced. No ifs, no buts. Now, when they're going to be home, when they've got to be home, depends on where they're going. Curfew, my kids aren't leaving the house in the first place. Or a curfew is important, but it should always be later on weekends. I think by my kids aren't leaving the house, they don't mean my kids don't have anything to do. I think they mean, like, yes, I am keeping them.
That's my answer.
But I think that the implication is I'm keeping them at home.
I can't answer any of these because my kids never went out by themselves in a situation that would require a curfew. Right. My daughter in high school might have gone to some band parties, but she always wanted to come home early.
As you said, she has a biological clock.
When she wants to go to sleep, she wants to go to sleep. So it wasn't an issue. And my son, you know, all the moms would go with the kids, and then all the moms would bring them home. So it wasn't a thing.
It's our curfew.
Are they not home yet? So, yeah, I'm just going to have to skip that one.
I think it's probably when they've got to be home, depends on where they're going. Like, the least strict one is what my answer is. But that's not the number one choice. The number one choice is a curfew is important, but it should be later on weekends. I mean, I guess. Should the kids do chores around the house? And the options are, duh, we all know that kids are free cleaners. No way, kids should be kids. Well, that's the only way they'll get any money off me, so yeah. They should have a few responsibilities here and there.
I'd go with the last one.
Me too.
I think responsibilities and contributing to the family are good.
Yes.
And that is the most popular. So look at us. Okay. Sleepovers. Where do you stand on sleepovers? Golly, I would have loved to have sleepovers with my kids, but it didn't really happen. I had a lot of sleepovers when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Had them, went to them, was all about them.
Right.
This was maybe the 60s was the high point of sleepovers in America.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit younger than you, but I definitely had plenty of sleepovers. The options are, I'm all for them, got to get the kids out of the house somehow. The kids can only stay at houses that have passed my background check. If they want a sleepover, they can have one at home. Or sleepover, why would my kid go to someone else's house when they have a free place to sleep at home? That's a weird answer.
That's a stupid answer.
I think it's the kids can stay at houses that have passed my background check. I mean, not that I'm doing a background check, but like, you know, I want to have some comfort level with where they're going.
Yeah, I think I would say they can have one at home just purely because... I mean, I'm a control freak, so I would be all worried all night. So do it here where I can sneak in and peek on you and make sure nobody's putting your hand in a bowl of water.
Yeah. Well, but we are both kind of in the minority.
Yeah.
The most popular answer is I'm all for them. Get the kids out of the house.
Oh, man. Definitely not that one. That would be my lowest ranked, I think.
Yes.
Although, why would they sleep at someone else's house when they have a free place to sleep at home? It's just dumb.
Yeah, it's silly.
Oh, piercings and tattoos.
Piercings and tattoos. Go for it. I'm all about self-expression. Piercings, yes. Tattoos, no. If I personally approve it, why not? And no way.
I don't like any of those. I would be fine with pierced ears. Pierced other things, I guess once they're an adult, do what you want to do. If they wanted tattoos, I probably would, if they were tasteful. Fortunately, I squashed the tattoo thing early on and the piercings as well, by saying there's needles involved.
There are needles.
Lots and lots of needles. And, they who scream and have to be tied down to get shots were like, no thank you, not for me, never mind.
Yep.
Do not want. But if they did, I mean, it's such a thing nowadays. My husband, on the other hand, I could be as liberal as I want on this thing, because he would say, no how, no way, never.
Right.
So I can go, oh, are you sure? Maybe it would be, oh, no, you say no, honey. Well, Pop says no. I'm sorry, kids.
I'm sorry, nothing I can
Pop
do.
will not have it. But my daughter could have got her ears pierced if she wanted to. She didn't want to, because sharp object through your skin.
Right.
No, thank you.
Right.
So even the fact that I have them meant nothing. What is your feeling about that? Have your kids gotten any of these items?
My daughter has several. She has her ears pierced multiple places, and she does have her nose pierced. Yeah. And I don't mind the nose with like a little tiny stud. I actually think it can be cute. Mm-hmm. I don't love when it's a little ring, even if it's tiny. Yeah. And she has done both. I definitely prefer the little stud.
And when she sneezes, what happens?
Nothing.
No. It's not
It's
painful to like blow your nose with something.
No, I mean I think that getting your ear pierced like up in the cartilage. Yeah. That can be more painful. Like my sister has that. Yeah. And she still can't sleep on that side of her head. So
I had 2 piercings on my earlobe at one point. That's as far as I went. Yeah. That was my dramatic statement of piercing. And then I let it grow over because it was too much to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, I am basically on the side of like I'm about self-expression. I'm like it's your body, and I don't necessarily love it, but I don't feel strongly enough about it to try to forbid it. And it's also like a choose your battles kind of thing.
Absolutely.
So
that's something about which attitudes have changed enormously during our lifetime.
Right. And my daughter also she has an idea for a tattoo that she wants to get when she's done skating. Because if she would get it while she's skating, she would have to cover it up. Yes. So, and I know what it is. It's small. It's tasteful. It's fine. So.
Yeah. I think I wouldn't freak out about something small. I think sleeves, we would have to have a long conversation. Right. But, I'm trying to sort of be the one saying it's their body. They're adults. Yeah. They get to do what they want to do, even if we don't approve of it. But did I mention there are needles? Many needles. You're getting a shot over and over and over again. Right. I don't know if that's true, but it works.
Wow. Well, I picked the go for it one, and that's the least popular answer.
Oh, wow. I guess I would say piercings, yes. Now,
How about if you personally approve of it?
If I personally approve of it, why not? But if I personally approve of it and Pop does not personally approve of it, there's going to be trouble. There's going to be so much trouble. It's not worth it.
Yes, well, that is the most popular
Get some easy to wash off marking pens and just, have a little fun. They get those earrings with the magnets. You could probably use that in your nose. It'd be okay.
Yeah, maybe.
No.
That I feel would come out when you blow.
Yeah. They have not shown any interest whatsoever. So, all right, finally, is this the last one? When's the best time to start relaxing the rules?
Once they turn 18, we are all adults. As long as they're under my roof, it's my rules. Never LOL, they'll always be my kid.
Yeah, as long as they're under my roof, it's my rules. We have used that, trite and horrifying as it is. We say that kind of a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean...
I put it a little more gently as, it's part of your rent.
Yes.
But same diff.
I'm gonna say that too. I mean, I think it's... Wow, once they turn 18, we're all adults.
I gotta wonder if the people who are saying once they turn 18, we're all adults, have children who are under 18.
Yeah.
Because once they get there, you realize these kids don't know anything.
And most of them are still in high school, you know, especially with kids being redshirted and stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
So do we have a score here?
No, there's no final score. It was just like per thing.
Ooh.
So, yeah. So we'll never know how strict we are.
Of course, I didn't answer one, so maybe I'm just going to tell myself that's why. But this was fun.
Yeah.
Things that parents are talking about, complaining about, and obsessing about right now in this quiz.
Yes.
So that's it for our quizzical round 3. Tune in tomorrow when we'll obsess about Take Your Child to Work Day. And then on Friday to see what we've come up with for our Roundabout Roundup picks this week. Find all our episodes at parentingroundabout.com and talk back in the comments there on our Facebook page or on Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat.